Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders now are starting to finally play some decent football, right? They went on a nice little 3 or 4 game losing streak there. I'm pulling up my stats just to confirm they're on a 3 game losing streak, but then they bounced back finally. Jaden Daniels finally looked like the quarterback that he was the first part of the season. The defense locked in, and they started to run the ball very, very well versus the Tennessee Titans, beating them down 42-19. I've had them out of the top 10, but kind of trying to bounce in, right? But that 3 game losing streak definitely hurt them. But I'm giving some momentum to the Commanders because those 3 game losing streak was versus the Steelers, versus the Eagles, and the Dallas Cowboys. All really, really, really good football teams. So, Mark, that is why I do have the Washington Commanders sitting at number 10.
Number 10, I don't know if I'd agree with this one, Buck, about them. I don't think they should be in the top 10, maybe top 15. Like you said, they lost 3 games in a row before they finally won a game. That's not a top 10 team to me, in my opinion. I think the team that should maybe be top 10, they're probably not even on this list, is the Rams. I think they're red hot right now. They're going to be a team you don't want to play in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to agree with Mark, but I agree. They're a Hail Mary away from being, having 3 losses, in 4 games. They have a pretty decent chance of making the playoffs. But since week 7, that rib injury to Jaden Daniels has really, you can't deny that offense has taken a step back. And defense wins championships, and this defense is not very good. The offense is going to have to carry that team, and I don't think they're going to be able to carry them. So I agree with Mark. I don't know that they should be in the top 10.
So when you look at the NFC guys, right, the Commanders right now have a very good, solid hold on that 7 seed, right, in the NFC playoff picture. If the playoffs were to start today, they would play the Eagles. They battled the Eagles, which last week I had them at number 1. Do you guys legitimately do not think that the Commanders could go back into Philly for the second time and really compete with them in the playoffs, like, at all?
I don't think so. I don't think they have the defense to compete with anybody, let alone in their division, let alone in the NFC.
I mean, we talk about division games being, tough games, but I think this defense is just too old, and I think it's catching up to them. And I think this, Philadelphia Eagles team is hitting their stride at the right time of the season. So I don't think that it would even be close. I think it would, be an ass whooping. And even when they faced each other last, yes, it ended up finishing to be a close game, but a lot of those points that the Commanders scored were in garbage time. But the Eagles really pulled away at the start of that second half.
Yeah, so the team that I dropped from 10 was the LA Chargers from last week, right? So I moved the Commanders up there because the Commanders did lose to a decent Kansas City Chiefs team. You guys do not like them like in the 10 spot. Mark mentioned the Rams, right? I do have the Rams sitting at 11, 12, kind of getting ready to burst onto that scene. So, Hafi, you do not like the Commanders. Should I put the Chargers back up in there? Would that make you happy?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to talk about a sleeper or a team that could battle the Eagles, I think that would be a team like the Rams. I think the Rams could be a dark horse that, Mark talks about. Nobody wants to see his Broncos. They're going to be a tough out. Let's face it. His Broncos suck. They haven't.
They are going to be a tough out. You have no idea.
You guys can't beat a team with a winning record, but I think the Rams are a legitimate team that you should watch out, for in the NFC. They have a gamer in Matt Stafford. They're starting to get healthy, and they just beat the Bills. I mean, their momentum's riding high for them. The Denver Broncos don't have a big win to ride off, on.
So one team that I saw jump up in here. Let me scroll back in the chat. James Frank says Baker and the Bucks are better than the Washington Commanders, and I think eventually, James, the Buccaneers will get back into the top 10. As long as they keep doing what they're doing and they keep improving week after week after week. Not only are the Buccaneers in the playoffs right now as a 4th seed, they are going to be a dangerous 4th seed. But I am not sold on them 100% yet. I want to see a little bit more of this defense. Can they really come and gel together like they did the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season when they beat, a team like the Philadelphia Eagles, when they beat a team like the Detroit Lions? So the Buccaneers are coming. Mark, you agree? Do you think the Buccaneers are a top 10 team?
Yes, I do think they're top 10. I think they've been hot just like the Rams. That's another team that you don't want to play in the playoffs because every game up until then it will be like a playoff game for them. So that's like the whole reason why you don't want to play teams like that. And like I said, the Broncos are in that same category. I know Javi doesn't agree, but yes, we're a team we're hot. He doesn't like hearing it, but yes, we're a hot team. We have a really good run game. Our defense is solid, probably one of the best in the league. Our quarterback can manage the game. He's capable. Yeah, so you can't say that we're not going to be a tough out.
Yeah, so
you're going to make the playoffs off of beating teams that are going to be in the top 5, like for first round picks or number 1 overall pick.
Not wrong, Mark. But let's go ahead and jump over into the comments and let's see what the people are saying here. And Debunk the Junk says Matthew Stafford still is the boss. Yes, Matthew Stafford played lights out last night. It was Monday night, right? Or Sunday night, I should say. He played lights out. He played a great game. But I'm just not sold on the Rams yet, right? I'm not sold. They put together 2 games, right? They have played well. I'm just not sold on the Rams as of right now. Laura says, no way. The Commanders 10th? I think that's still too high. Too soon to be good again. Wow.
Yep.
You guys are not liking the Commanders at like 10. Okay. I can respect
the
it.
Broncos at 10.
I can respect it. John says, is that after being gassed last night? Meaning the Dallas Cowboys. Stop sleeping on the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are still a playoff team. They can get there, John. They can get there. John says, I like the Kansas City Chiefs at number 10. Okay.
Thought this was a football podcast, not a comedy show.
Debunk the Junk says, for real, Rams at 10. Man, you guys are loving some Rams. Okay. I can respect that. So that is who I have at number 10 right now. Then coming in at number 9.